Marcus Chen had nothing left to lose when he boarded the transport to Kylar 7. The desert moon orbiting the gas giant Thyssen Prime was known as humanity's last frontier for the desperate, a place where failed dreamers and broken souls could purchase salvaged habitats for the price of a meal back on Earth. The galactic commune had classified it as minimally habitable, which translated to, "You probably won't die immediately." The cave shelter cost Marcus his last 200 credits. The Zelthian real estate broker, a slug-like creature with too many eyes, had assured him it was structurally sound and only slightly haunted. Marcus had laughed at that last part. He'd stopped believing in ghosts around the same time he'd stopped believing his luck would ever change. The cave entrance yawned before him like a toothless mouth, half buried in rust-colored sand. Marcus dragged his single duffel bag inside, grateful to escape Kylar 7's twin suns. The temperature dropped 20 degrees within the first few meters. His breath condensed in the darkness as he activated his emergency light stick. The cave was larger than he'd expected. The walls bore strange geometric patterns, not natural formations but deliberate etchings. Marcus ran his fingers across them, feeling ridges and valleys that seemed to pulse with a rhythm he couldn't quite hear. Probably just the wind, he told himself. He set up his sleeping mat near the entrance and rationed his water. 3 days' worth, maybe 4 if he stretched it. Then he'd need to find work at one of the mining operations. Assuming they'd hire a 53-year-old former programmer with arthritis and no useful skills for frontier life. That first night, Marcus dreamed of voices singing in languages that had never touched human tongues. On the second day, he explored deeper. The cave system branched into corridors that defied logic, too straight, too precisely angled. His footsteps echoed with a metallic quality that made his skin crawl. At the end of the longest corridor, Marcus found the door. It wasn't like any door he'd ever seen. A circular portal of black material that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The geometric patterns from the cave walls converged here, spiraling inward like a whirlpool frozen in stone. Marcus placed his palm against the surface. It was warm. The door dissolved like smoke, and Marcus stumbled into a chamber that stole his breath. Bioluminescent crystals grew from every surface, casting the room in shades of blue and violet. In the center stood a cylinder of crystalline material, and inside it was something that might have been alive once. The creature was roughly humanoid, but wrong in subtle ways. Too many joints in the limbs, a head that seemed to fold in on itself. Its skin, if it could be called skin, shimmered with the same geometric patterns that decorated the walls. But what caught Marcus's attention wasn't the alien corpse itself. It was the device clutched in its elongated fingers. Marcus approached slowly, half expecting alarms or defense systems. Nothing happened. The cylinder wasn't sealed. There was no barrier between him and the contents. He reached in and carefully extracted the device from the ancient fingers. It was surprisingly light, no bigger than a human heart, covered in the same intricate etchings. The moment his skin made full contact, the device activated. Light erupted from the geometric patterns, not harsh but gentle like dawn breaking. The chamber's crystals began to resonate, and Marcus heard it, the singing from his dreams, but clearer now. Not voices, data, pure, crystallized information flowing directly into his mind. He saw the creature's species, the architects they called themselves. Beings who had mastered the fundamental code of reality itself. They had built wonders across 1,000 galaxies, crafting worlds and shepherding younger species toward enlightenment. But they had made a mistake. In their arrogance, they had touched something beyond even their comprehension, a cosmic equation that, once solved, unraveled them from existence. The architects had died not in war or disaster, but in perfect understanding of their own impossibility. Before vanishing, they had hidden caches of knowledge throughout the universe, seeds of wisdom for whoever might come after. This cave had been a temple, a library, a gift to species yet unborn, and now it had chosen Marcus Chen, homeless and forgotten, as its inheritor. The download completed. Marcus gasped as the device went dark, but the knowledge remained, etched into his neurons like the patterns on the walls. He understood now, understood technologies that could heal planets, energy systems that defied entropy, communication methods that transcended space and time. He understood how to save not just himself, but humanity itself. Marcus walked back through the cave with steady steps, the device secured in his jacket. Above him, Kylar 7's twin suns beat down on the desert, but he no longer felt their heat. He had work to do. Calls to make. Scientists to contact. A species to uplift. The galactic commune had dismissed humanity as newcomers, barely worth notice among the ancient spacefaring civilizations. They had no idea what was coming. The architects had waited centuries for the right mind. Not the most brilliant, not the most powerful, but the most desperate. The most hungry. The most human. Marcus Chen smiled as he began the long walk toward the mining colony's communication hub. Humanity's time was just beginning, and it had started in a cave that nobody wanted, bought by a man everyone had forgotten. The universe, he reflected, had a strange sense of humor.